Hello and to our amazing session on getting a head start in ML. Today, we have our power packed speaker Akash Kundu with us, who will be sharing the way you can start or deep dive into machine learning and artificial intelligence, as it is one of the most demanding field in this IT industry these days. So, Akash, over to you. I'm extremely sorry for the inconvenience caused. So, in this session, we will be discussing the whole roadmap how you can deep dive into machine learning and artificial intelligence. So, and one more point, do you want some surprises from our GDSC team? If yes, we have one surprise waiting for you. But for that, you have to stay with us during the whole session so that we can share it with you at the end of the session. So, without a further ado, I would request our artificial intelligence and machine learning lead Akash Kundu to join us. Hello, Akash.
Hey, yeah, hi Divyanshu. Thanks for that introduction. So I would like to take this stage from here. So yeah, hello everyone. I'm Akash Kundu, and I am the AIML lead for this year. So today I would be talking about how you can start your career in ML. Like if you were present in that offline session where I talked about what is machine learning and do machines actually learn, you might have figured out if you like machine learning or you don't like machine learning. So in case you are here in this session today, I really hope that all of you want to explore machine learning and want to do something out of this and make a career out of this. So today I would be talking about this. Like if all of you are interested to, if people who are here are interested to build a career in ML, what exactly do you need to do, and what career paths can you choose? What are the career paths that are there for you, and how you can make the most of every opportunity and get somewhere. So I would like to share something with you guys first. I guess uh, this is visible. First of all, can you guys chat? If yes, then leave a hi or something. Then it would be easier for me to see. Can you guys just post some comments or anything? Um, yeah, I see a comment. I guess. Yeah, great, amazing. So, okay, so here's a link here. This is a link to to the GitHub repo that I would be sharing today, and this is what we would be using to see what's going to be discussed. I would be sharing my screen and I would be going through this roadmap, and it took me a lot of time to create. Trust me, this took me a lot of time, and I want to share this with you. So let's go. Let's start, and I want stars on this repo, please, because that would really make me feel appreciated. Okay, so without further ado, let's begin. Yeah. So the thing is, first of all, there might be people who have missed my previous session. So in case you are still trying to figure out is machine learning and data science for you, I want you to know that there are a few things. I would not say that it's absolute, but if you have a few of these characteristics, you can pursue ML and it might be a good fit for you. Because, see, there's a lot of things in development and there's so much that all of us can do. But if you think about it, then there's only, uh, if you think about it, there's just a few things which are necessary. By the way, Divyanshu, can you just put my repo to the screen? Yeah, thanks. So, yeah. So, this is my first question to you guys. Is ML machine learning and data science for you? So, let's see if you guys can figure it out. So, there are a few criterias which you might need to look at. Like you love mathematics, or at least you don't hate it. You like looking at percentages, statistical data, and would love to create such insights if given a chance. Like for example, I am giving you a data set consisting of the traffic signals and how many cars are there in each traffic signal at a metropolis like Kolkata or Bangalore. And you might feel, okay, what can you do with like how many cars are there, how many cars are stuck in a traffic signal? But like there are things that data analysts do. What they do is they take this data and they figure out, okay, on Wednesday from 12 a.m. there are a lot of cars in this region. So what we can do is like they could tell the restaurants in that area to give discounts, and if they do that, if those restaurants do that, they actually get more customers because there are a lot more people in the road that day than any other day of the week. So I hope you understand that traffic data, which has no relationship with like our what do I say, like restaurants or anything, but it's somehow still helpful. So data analysts are people who connect these random dots which you might not even feel are connected, and give some insights which actually help companies make profits and have some impact. So yeah, so you like looking at percentages, statistical data, and like to create such insights like the one I mentioned if given a chance. And you can find patterns and figure out interesting details that most people might miss. As I said, that these traffic signals, like calculating how many cars are stuck in a traffic signal and connecting that with restaurants, is not something that would be thought by a lot of people. So if you're that creative, you definitely can go here. And yeah, so this is something very important. You would have to deal with large SQL databases, you would have to work with large Excel sheets, and there's a lot of data pre-processing required, and you need to work with these. And I know it sounds very daunting and it's very difficult to manage at times, but trust me, every data scientist or data analyst spends about 70 to 80% of their time just cleaning the data before they can get into the analysis or model making parts. So this is very important, and there's a few things that you have to like do to get results. People don't like everything about a job, but there are things that you need to do. So this is one of those. You need to know how to clean data and pre-process data, and are not scared to face large Excel sheets. And finally, you are, this is super super important, you're a good communicator. You're comfortable with communicating your ideas and findings to people around you, because if you are coming to this field, you most likely would require talking to people who are around you, and you would be telling them, okay, this is what it is, this this is how you see the results, this is how you interpret them, and you need to explain that to them. There are a lot of people who won't be understanding a lot of maths that you use behind, but they would still understand how you are interpreting the results using your charts or visualizations or whatever. So that is something that you need to be well versed with. You need to be a good communicator. And finally, this is statistics, and it's based on statistical analysis. Like, if you are a person who's very good at mathematics, there's things that you would like to have. Like, for example, you might want to know, okay, what's the answer to this question? What's the value of X? But in reality, when you are working on statistical problems, you most probably would never get right answers, and you need to accept this fact. You would try to get you would try to get as close to the right answer as possible. You need to, that's what statistics is. It's like approximations and getting as close to the real answer as possible. And there's, like, you can never reach the correct answer. You would get very very close, but trust me, no matter how close you get, there's still some room for improvement. So that's what it is. You need to be aware that you can never reach the right answer. So if you're okay with just approximating and getting closer to the answer without ever reaching to the right answer, this is for you. And finally, as I said, you would need to like brainstorm things, and you have to tolerate a lot of problem statements which are very vague. Like, your client would say that, okay, tell me how can I increase my profits. So like, you need to understand which questions you need to ask, which data sets you need, and how you can use that data to actually make analysis and analytical decisions to actually improve the profit for the company. As a data scientist or a data analyst or anyone who's in a machine learning role, your job is to create an impact in the organization which you are serving. So you have to be well versed and be accepting of the fact that there would be weak problem statements, and there are things that you would never know. You would not have data, you would have to collect the data somehow, you would have to then analyze it, and you need to know which data you need. So there's a lot of things that you need to do. And there's another thing, like, in, I would like to say this, like, if someone's there in software engineering, these people know what to do. Like, for example, my client wants a website to be built. So there's a certain method of building a website. You do a few things, and if I'm not present there and some other web developer is present there, he most probably would do the same things. Like, it would look a bit different, but he would do pretty much the similar things. But in machine learning, if I am not there and someone else is working other than me, they could use some absolutely different algorithm and still get similar results. So there's no right answer here at all. Like, there could be 1,000 approaches to one problem, and all of them could be correct. So you need to be aware of that as well. There's not just one correct answer. You need to figure out what works for you. Is this clear to you guys? Am I clear till now? Can you like tell that to me in the chat? That would help. Well, okay, I would go ahead then. So, as I have said, that I guess if you are looking at these points and you have heard this, you might feel something that, okay, I can handle this or I cannot handle this. So I believe you can. And so now I would tell you what paths are there, which roles are there, which you can choose from. There are a lot of roles that are there, and you can choose one of these. And all of these roles, I would say that all of these roles go from easier to harder, because there's a lot of things that you need to work with. And that's what I would like to say, that all of these roles are there. These are like, there are a lot more roles. Like, there's something called uh, data analyst scientist, data analytical scientist, or something like a merging of two or three of these paths. But I would say that at max there are 5 of these paths. These are 5 major paths that you can choose from. So if you want to come to machine learning, I hope you know that these are the things that you can choose from. You need to understand like what kind of roles you would be working on, what is important, and this is helpful to figure out what kind of work you like and how it could be good for you. So I would just talk about all of them very briefly. You can read the readme later. So what a data analyst does is basically takes all of the data that's there. There's a lot of data by the company. They analyze it, and they use visualization tools to showcase charts and plots and they also showcase PPTs to express how things are there. So that's what a data analyst does. They take the past data and then use visualization tools to showcase, okay, how we have performed in the past, and just derive insights and communicate that to the company or the clients or the stakeholders. So now you need to understand that data is not free and data is not easy to get. uh, if you see some websites, you would find data sets, but sourcing these data sets are very hard. So the people who bring this data are data engineers. So this is something that you need to understand, that data engineers are people who bring the data, who somehow source it from the internet, or there are a lot of ways to source data, and these people bring data to the table, which data analysts or data scientists or machine learning engineers use to actually finally get to the insights and work the things which are fun to do. What are machine learning engineers? So machine learning engineers are basically someone have who have the ability of data analysts, but they could also predict the future. Like for example, a data analyst would tell you, okay, so this is what has happened in the past. They have the data set which showcases what has happened in the past, and they would tell you, okay, this is how our company performed in the first quarter of the year, this is how we performed in the second quarter, this is how we performed in the third quarter of the year, this is how we performed in the fourth quarter. So now if there's a machine learning engineer, he would look at all of this data and he would try to predict what would be our profits next year, like in the next quarter, which has not happened yet. So they train their model based on this past data which is already there, which the data analyst was using, and they try to predict the future. And that's what they are doing. They're predicting the future, and when they're predicting the future, it's like giving the company insights, okay, this is how we should proceed, and they back it up with a lot of statistics and proof. Because uh, if if data analysts, if machine learning engineers say things which are not right, it could severely harm an organization. So these people are the ones who are generally in charge of forecasting and basically predicting stuff in the future that has not happened yet based on the data. So what's MLOps engineers now? So now the model has been built by the machine learning engineer, but understand that the real life is messy. It's messy, and things don't go as we plan it to go. So there's a lot of things that we don't take into account. There's a lot of things that might happen. Like no one knew that COVID would be coming. So like you have to handle situations like COVID differently. Or maybe like there are things that the model used to perform well, but like people expect different things from the company. Now something else is performing better. There's a lot of things in the future that you can't predict. There's a lot that you can predict using machine learning, there's a lot that you can't predict. So the people who monitor stuff and actually try to improve the model again and again, like in real time, who are in charge of this machine learning operations, look after the deployment and maintain its performance, are MLOps engineers. I would like to talk about data scientists now. Now these are people who can actually handle most of the roles above. They are most probably not data engineers, because data engineers are always present in most companies, but they can handle the analysis part, they can provide insights, and they could also take care of the MLOps parts as well. But these people are more driven to do statistical and mathematical research, and they try to improve the model performance. Like if there's like 75% or 80% accuracy of your uh, a model, or suppose for example you are getting an error rate of 10%, they would try to reduce it to 5% or 4%. So that's what a data scientist is doing. They are trying to optimize it again and again. A machine learning engineer would be building the base model, and they most likely, if in a large organization, the machine learning engineer would listen to what the data scientist is saying and try to implement that to build his models, or the data scientists could do it themselves as well. So it depends on the organization and the size of the organization. And finally, AI researcher. These are people who are data scientists, but who focus a lot more on mathematics and statistics. Like data scientists do the same, but AI researchers focus on much more niche fields. Like for example, if you think about chat GPT, it's not a business related problem as such. Data scientists focus on solving business problems, like how to make the organizations get more profits, how to reduce their losses or things like that, AI researchers can work on completely different things related to the field of AI, like how to improve, like how to create uh, real like human images, or how to create actual photographs which don't exist based on text prompts, how to improve chatbots like ChatGPT, LLMs like ChatGPT or stuff. So people who do research on AI on specific topics like computer vision or natural language processing or speech recognition or whatever, these people are AI researchers who work on specific domains, I would say, and they are most likely not in business related roles, but they do a lot of research and they can handle what a data scientist does, but they are focusing on things which are better for mankind. It's more of a research role than an industrially applied role. So this is, a data scientist is somewhat an applied role, but an AI researcher is a research role. So these are all the roles that are there, and I would just like to briefly say what you would need to learn for each of the roles. There's a lot I have written here, so I would like you guys to see what you need. Like for data analyst, you need strong communication skills. You need to be good with presentations and explain in your visualizations and formulas. Like you need to understand a lot of time that your clients would not be very well versed with the mathematical formulas, and you need to dumb it down for them. You need to help them understand, and even if they don't understand, you have to make them understand. So that's an art, and data analysts, data scientists, or everyone who are communicating to the clients, it's a client facing role, and everyone who's communicating needs to take care of that. So you need to have very good presentation skills. You need to have the ability to explain your visualizations. You need proficiency in SQL because you need to handle large databases, as I said, and SQL comes in handy. You need to be proficient with data visualization tools like Power BI or uh, Tableau. So these are things that you can look into. And finally, you need proficiency in Python because that's helpful. Like SQL is great, but if you know Python, you can do a lot of things programmatically that a lot of people cannot do. Like data analysts, there are like a lot of MBA graduates who get hired as data analysts, but I would like to let you know that if you have Python skills, you would be a very strong hire because you would know a lot of things that you can do programmatically as engineering students, which a lot of people might not be able to bring. So that would make you stand out. So there are, I would not read through here. These are a lot of like resources which I have brought for you guys. These are some courses which you can do in the order mentioned, and all of these are free, so you can check them out, and this could definitely help you learn. And another thing that I have forgotten to mention here, I would maybe add it later, is that you need to learn advanced Excel because Excel is also very necessary. I know that Excel doesn't sound that cool as engineers, but trust me, as a data analyst, you would have to work with Excel on a day-to-day basis. Coming to data engineers, I would be honest, data engineering is not something that I do a lot, but I could, and I'm not the right person to advise you on this, but there's something that I could tell you. Like I know what you need to Google. Like there's something that my professor told me once, that you don't need to know everything, and a true professor won't always teach you everything, but they tell you the names of the things, the keywords that you need to Google, so that you can start your journey and learn from Googling. Because there's a lot of things on Google, and we all learn by Googling. So I can just tell you guys names of stuff that you need to learn, and you guys could check them out later. So you need SQL, Python, Scala, maybe any one of these, Python or Scala, but you can learn both. There's Hadoop, Spark, or Kafka for handling big data because there's a lot of handling of large data sources. You need to learn how to build ETL pipelines. These are the softwares or technologies which are used to build ETL pipelines. There's Snowflake or Google BigQuery for data warehousing. There are cloud systems like Google Cloud Platform or AWS. And there's, you need to be familiar with containerization technologies like Docker and Kubernetes. So yeah, I'm not very well versed with this, but there's something in the opportunities section down below which I can help you guys with. So please stay here if you are focusing on data engineering. But yeah, there's something that I want you guys to know, Like data engineering is something which is more code intensive than data analysts. So if you are programmatically stronger and you believe that you can do a lot of things programmatically, then you should go for data engineering, because you might not need to communicate as much as data analysts, but you would need to do a lot of things with code. So if you don't like communicating much with people but you like to write code and you still want to work in the data industry, data engineer is very suitable. And if you like to communicate with people, data analyst is also a very good role to begin with. So I mean, I hope you understand that there's no right role or wrong role. There are some roles which require some certain strengths, and each role has certain strengths and weaknesses. So, and I want all of you to understand what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses, so that you can go ahead with them. Now I would come to machine learning engineer path. And I would like to mention that this is the path that I am currently on. So this is a bit more deeper than most of the other ones present here. I am currently a machine learning engineer at Omdena, and I have worked on multiple projects and I have built a lot of things. I would like to say that this is going to be very heavy, so I want you guys to sit and listen through this. So, why should you consider machine learning engineering? Like, what's there that you need to know more than data analysis? So you need to be well versed with mathematics and statistics, because that's going to be there. And don't be scared of this, but you need to learn linear algebra, calculus, and probability to do well. And let's dive deep into these things. So as I said, you need to know how to do data analysis and things, but you need to know a few extra skills as well. So if you are trying to be a machine learning engineer, you already have to look into this data analyst portion. You can leave out the data visualization parts, but it's good to have. And then you would need all of these. So solid foundations of linear algebra, probability, statistics, and calculus. So what I mean by linear algebra is more about like what's matrix multiplication, how it's working, and how you do it on scikit-learn or using Python. There's a lot of parallel process happening which actually can help speed up the process of matrix multiplication by a lot. So understanding that is also very important. You need to understand probability statistics, because there would be a lot of probability required, and calculus is important as well. You need to differentiate at times, you need to look at differential equations, so calculus would come in handy. These are some Python libraries that you need to learn. You need to have knowledge of frameworks like TensorFlow and PyTorch, and you need to learn standard machine learning algorithms like linear regression, logistic regression, KNN, support vector machine, decision tree, random forest, Gaussian naive Bayes, etc. There's a lot of things that you need to cover. There are concepts like gradient descent. There's When you are going to deep learning, you would find something like multi-layer perceptrons, feed forward neural networks, backpropagation, etc. See, I have named these things for you guys so that if someone's not trying to take the courses or anything, they could just somehow go to these, like Google these terms up and learn about them. So this is something like I am trying to give you guys the keywords which you need to Google so that you can learn about it if you wish. And finally, you need to know how to deploy your projects using Streamlit. If possible, learn Flask or Django, because that also helps and it gives you a lot more control. But Streamlit is amazing. It gives you a great user experience and it's very easy to learn. You could like deploy your machine learning model in 15 to 20 minutes. So Streamlit is amazing. Trust me. And you can learn about specialized fields like computer vision and natural language processing later. But before that, you need to do all of these. These are some courses which you need to take, which you can take if you wish. This is a YouTube playlist which you can check out, and these are by Andrew Ng. He's one of the best in this field. And all of these are free. And these are some books that I have mentioned. These are for mathematics and statistics which you need to read. If you guys need any of these reading materials, you can just ask me. I can provide you with that. I guess I have it with me. And for advanced readers out there, this is something I would prefer you guys to read, like Approaching Almost Any Machine Learning Problem by Abhishek Thakur. In case you don't know who's Abhishek Thakur, he's like an Indian, of course, and he was the first 4x Kaggle grandmaster. And in case like I don't think you might understand how big of a deal being a 4x Kaggle grandmaster is, but I would just give you an estimate. Like there are half a million people on Kaggle. Kaggle is a website that I would be talking about later. And out of them, there are less than 20 people who are 4x grandmasters. And this person was the first person ever to achieve it. So he's an amazing person, and he has done a lot in the field of machine learning, and he has written a lot in his book. So you can definitely read this. And Black Swan is something that is not at all like necessary. It's not that technical, but it helps you get an intuition on how to deal with outliers, and it's very interesting. This is one of the best reads that I've ever had. So you can read this up as well. And this is for advanced people. So I expect that you guys would do these first before you guys jump into this. And finally, for computer vision and NLP, if you complete all of this, then you can follow this guy named Pradeep Nichite. He's one of my favorites. For computer vision, there's this guy named Nicholas Renaud. He has amazing tutorials. He has done a lot of work in NLP, speech recognition. He has done almost everything, but he has done a lot of things in motion sensing and computer vision, which are phenomenal. So you can check him out. And there's another 4x grandmaster named Rob Mulla. You can actually check him out. So these are a few things. These are a few people that you guys can check. So this is all I have for data engineers and machine learning engineers. Right now, I would come to ML ops engineers, and I would be honest again that I know very little about this field. I mean, I know a bit about this, but I would not talk a lot about this because this is not the path that I have chosen. Machine learning engineering is the path that I have chosen, but I would get into ML ops sooner or later. There's a lot of things that you need to learn, and but I would not be the right person to guide you, so I would not say anything here. I would say that you can follow someone named Ayush Singh. I guess he's 15 or 16 years old, and he has been working since he was 14 years old. So don't feel that you haven't done anything in your life yet. He's amazing, and he can teach you a thing or two. So you can follow him. He's working in MLOps, and he can help you guys. So that's all I have for MLOps because I don't know much about this field. I know what is done on a day-to-day basis, but I don't know how people are managing this. So I won't comment on this much. And finally, coming to data scientists, uh, this is something very cool. Like I would like you guys to see this uh, diagram for a while. Like there's this automation or hacking skills, there's statistics, and there's domain expertise. Like domain expertise means like if you're working in a company, that company might be focusing on agri-tech, or it might be focusing on biology, or it might be focusing on medicines or whatever. So you need domain expertise in that particular field to do well in data science. Or even if you don't have domain expertise, it's better to have someone who has domain expertise and talk with them to understand the variables better. There's a lot of factors going on, and you can get best inputs on which factors matter more than others by using these people. So yeah, so this is a diagram. So data scientist comes somewhere in middle. Machine learning is between statistics and automation. Domain expertise is not that important, but when you are in data science, since you are, it's somewhat of an applied research role, I would say, you would require some amount of domain expertise. And I would like to mention that the roles that I have talked about earlier, like you could make it as a data analyst from like uh, after your BTech. You can join as a data engineer after your BTech. You can, if you're very lucky, you can join as a machine learning engineer. It would be better if you have a master's, but you can still join as a machine learning engineer after your BTech. But uh, you can still join as an ML ops engineer if you're lucky as well. But if you're trying to get as a data scientist, it is almost mandatory to have a master's. They are very much preferred, and if not a PhD. So I would like to say that the roles mentioned below, if you are considering them, please try to think about um, masters or a PhD. So you need to be aware that you might need to do some extra studying after your BTech years as well. So if that's not right for you, the roles I've mentioned above are the ones which are right. So I would like to talk about data scientists a bit. They know Python and machine learning, they understand statistics, and they have domain specific knowledge. That's it. And as I said, I have described AI researchers as well that solve problems, which might not be business related, but it's also very technical and very niche, and you might require a PhD. There are some exceptional people who do it with masters. There's one guy I know whom I follow. He's called Alexa Gordich. He's the only person who has worked in Google DeepMind after just a bachelor's degree. But he's a master's dropout. So yeah, he tried out masters as well. So I would say that it's almost impossible to be an AI researcher without a master's. And it's even better if you have a PhD, and you need some publications in top conferences to prove that you can actually do research. So this is a very research aligned role, and you need to know that you need to study for a really long time if you are working in this field. So that's all the fields that all the major parts that I wanted to cover. So I would like to take any questions if you guys have any regarding these parts, if there's anything, or otherwise I would move to the next portion. If you have any questions, just read it, write it down, or maybe type one saying that it's clear to you guys, and I can move forward. Okay, so I guess there are no questions, so I would move forward to what's next. Like now, I hope, thanks for like staying this far. I mean, this was made for people who are reading this. So now you know what are the major roles, and you have a vague idea of what you want to pursue. So I would like to talk about opportunities and things that you need to do so to get yourself set and stand out from the crowd. So for that, you need a portfolio website. And what's a portfolio website? A portfolio website consists of all the major projects that you have that actually help recruiters figure out what you are good at in a few seconds. The resources that I've mentioned above, if you follow them well, you would find a lot of projects, and you would get a lot of guided projects, and you would learn a lot of things as well. So you don't need to worry about that, but you can also add other projects that you have done outside of these courses. So how can you do that? I haven't talked about this. Let's talk about opportunities for a moment. Let's talk about opportunities. So yeah, so there are some websites called that need you guys to know about. There's something called Kaggle that I've already mentioned. So Kaggle is an amazing website. I would like to show you guys how Kaggle looks for a second. Let me see if Kaggle is visible. I guess the screen is visible. Just a sec. I hope you guys are seeing Kaggle now. Yeah. So this is my Kaggle account, and there's a lot of competitions that I'm in right now. So I would show you guys, like, if you go to competitions, you would see, like, these are my active competitions. Like, these are the competitions that I am currently participating in. These are active competitions, and you can see that there's huge prize monies for this competitions, and like, and you can definitely participate in any one of these when you get expertise. And the best researchers, the best data scientists work here. They participate in these competitions and try to win for these prize monies, and they share their solutions as well, their notebooks on how they approach the problem, how you should approach the problem. And that's, I would say, that's amazing, and that's brilliant, because you can learn from the best in the field, and it helps you to learn well. So these are competitions that you can participate in. And there's something which I'm a big fan of. It's called data sets. Like when you go to data sets, you would find a lot of things like, yeah. So these are a lot of trending data sets here, like credit risk analysis, or fitness club data set for ML classification, data sets related to suicides or traffic detection. They are related to football, FIFA World Cup, Genshin Impact, weapon data set on what weapon is better, what's worse. You can do data analysis on that. And these are some projects which are very interesting for some of you guys. And you can definitely work on something which is fun for you, and you can also learn a lot. So I would say that Kaggle consists of thousands of data sets to choose from, and you can choose one of them. and just keep working and add them to your portfolio to prove that okay, you can work with data sets that's not guided, and it helps you to stand out. So that's what you can do with Kaggle, I would say. And there's something as a learn platform as well. If you go to this, you would get a lot of courses present in Kaggle as well. Like there's SQL, there's advanced SQL, there's deep learning, there's feature engineering, data visualization. Kaggle has a lot of courses as well, and all of this is free. So you can definitely read about them, you can definitely learn through them as well. And if you do this, I pretty much am sure that you would learn a few things. So that's all I need to tell you about Kaggle right now. There could be a session about Kaggle later, but that's basically what you need to know about right now. I would get back to where I was. Get back to my, yeah, okay. This is it. I am back to my roadmap. Yeah, and I have explained Kaggle to you guys. I would talk about something else now. Okay, so these are a few now. Now that you know Kaggle, this is basically the go-to practice website for you guys. So now that you have enough practice with Kaggle, there there's something called hackathons which help you build like experience. So what are hackathons? They give you a problem statement and they ask you to do something out of it. For example, maybe they give you 10,000 images of cats and 10,000 images of dogs, and they ask you to predict, okay, train a machine learning model who, when faced and shown new images of cats and dogs that's not present in the dataset, can accurately predict if it's a cat or a dog. So this is an hackathon. This actually happened on in Kaggle like years back in 2015, I guess, and that is what people were working with. And the metric was accuracy. Like someone got 82% accuracy, someone was getting 83%, someone was getting 85% accuracy. So the accuracy that you have is important in that cases. So they give you a data set to work with, and you can do whatever you want to do with that data set, and then you just predict solutions and submit it. And the one who has the best accuracy or the least amount of error, like in some cases, like suppose what would be the profit or what would be the loss, you need to predict that. So you can't accurately predict it ever, you would have some error. So whoever has least error or lesser error wins. So these are what hackathons are most like in Kaggle or any other platform. These are how data science or machine learning hackathons work. So these are some websites where you can like participate in hackathons. There's something called Machine Hack. I would like to show you guys something. Like this is a very cool website as well. Let me share this tab. So this is my Machine Hack website. This website hosts amazing hackathons, and it's great. Like you can do a lot here. I would like to, if that's allowed, I would like to show you guys something. I guess that's allowed. So this is like the current hackathon which is going on here. It's called Machine Hack right now. It's about like they have given you uh, details of credit card history, credit card usage history of people, and how they are like performing, how people are using credit cards, what's their outstanding balance, how they are spending their money. So now we have to predict if these people who are using these credit cards, will they require a loan, and if they require a loan, would they actually take a loan? So these are the questions that I need to answer based on the data set. So that is what I need to do. Like if you go here, like this is the competition which is here. Like I am participating here, and I would like to show you guys what happened. Yeah. So this is the leaderboard by the way. So I guess it's 10th. I guess I was in. This is something called ROC AUC score, but think of it as accuracy for like your easy understanding. Like 1 basically means 100% accuracy. So I have received an accuracy around 99.996% accuracy. So this is like and these are like professional hackathons. Like, these are people who are actually in the industry and have been not just against students, they are also professionals. And this is my accuracy, and I hope you can understand how competitive this is. Like, 99.995% accuracy is not enough. So I hope you understand. So this is basically the leaderboard. So there are a lot of hackathons like these which are happening here and there, and you need to be aware of the opportunities. I would like to come back to my tab again, and there's something called Unstop. This is another platform where you are given information about hackathons which are happening. It's not just for data science. You would find web dev hackathons as well, you would find other hackathons as well. But I have participated in amazing data science hackathons through Unstop. So I would like to let you know that you should check these websites on a timely basis, as new opportunities come up anytime. And stay aware. Knowing about opportunities is a gift that people take for granted. You need to be aware that these are opportunities and you need to take them. Being able to know what you need to do at the right time is something very important, and it genuinely helps. Finally, this is like the best part of the session, I would say: special mentions. Now, this is something you guys need to listen. Anyone who was already there, the data engineers or the MLOps engineers whom I couldn't help earlier, I can help you guys now. So there's something called AWS AI and ML scholarship. I would like to show you guys this in a new link. Yeah. So this is something by uh, this is something a scholarship program which actually helps students learn, and I believe that people should take opportunities when given such. So you guys can enroll into this, and you can get, if you are good, you would get scholarships to learn about Python and fundamentals. So apply for this. The last date to apply, I guess, is, I'm sorry, shit, I think I have stopped sharing the screen. Just a sec, let me share my screen again. Oh, yeah, let me share my screen again. Yeah. Is my screen visible? uh yeah, it's visible. So this is, oh, what's there, like, this is something you can look into. There's something called Hamoy. Okay, this is for the data engineering enthusiasts and MLOps engineers that I wanted to talk about. So Hamoy is an organization that's actually spending their resources to teach you guys. By the way, I'm not sponsored by any of them. I'm just sharing because I feel this could help you guys. So see, Hamoy is basically helping you guys get your first internship. They basically provide 4 tracks. There's a cloud engineering track, there's a DevOps and cloud engineering track, which I would say is somewhat like the MLOps track, not exactly, but kinda. And there's the data storytelling track, which is more likely to be like data analysts. So as I said, like, there might be different names for things, but majorly there are 5 roles. They are not focusing on the AI researcher role because they don't expect you to go there, because this is focused particularly for the industry. So these are the 4 tracks they offer, and you can apply to the you can definitely apply to this. And you can, what happens here is, you would be thrown into a group of like 5,000 and 6,000 individuals. You have to be present for like, you would have to give like, about, if you're a beginner, you need to give about 30 hours or 35 hours per week to learn. And you would be given assignments and quizzes that you need to solve, and based on your marks from those assignments and quizzes, you get a rank on the leaderboard. And the better ranks might get a call for internship interviews. I'm not guaranteeing that, but even if you don't get any calls, you can put this on your resume that out of 5,000 on 6,000 individuals, you ranked in the top 100 or top 10. So that's actually a very good remark as well. So this is something that can help you learn about these fields in very much detail. It's a 4-month internship which teaches you a lot. I would not call it an internship. I would say that it's something that is teaching you. It's like a course, but it's a very competitive program where you would be fighting against people of your age who are also willing to learn, and they also want to get on top of the leaderboard. So it's very challenging and it's very fun. So I believe you should do this. And just one thing that you need to know, that the last date to apply for this is 8th September 2023. What's today's date? 8th September 2023. So be quick and apply if possible. Be really quick. And by the way, for AWS, this was for 30th September. So be quick, and for this, be quicker. And finally, this is something that I would talk to like the advanced people who have done almost all of these. There's something called Omdena. This is where I have worked, and I would ask you guys to look into this as well. So Omdena is just, let me share my screen. So yeah, so this is basically a website of an organization which actually brings together AI enthusiasts who want to solve problems using machine learning. This is mostly for machine learning engineers or data analysts. I would not say data analysts, but mostly data machine learning engineers who could like get into this and practice on real world projects. I'm sorry, there's some issues with like the website loading. I hope it loads. Okay, so I guess it's not going to load. I won't wait much, but okay, so they have very interesting, what Umdana has is that they have multiple interesting projects which are actually important in the real world. For example, there are a lot of problems with vegetation. I have been in this project myself. Like, there's not much mental health support available to people of Tanzania. So I have worked in as making a mental health chatbot for people living in Tanzania with a group of like 80 machine learning engineers or enthusiasts. So that's something that I have worked on. So that's how Umdena works. You work on real life projects, you connect with people from all around the world. I have met amazing people through Umdena from all around the world. So I have a friend from a country named Benin. I had no idea that a country existed called Benin, Benin. So yeah, so that's something that Umdena helped me understand as well. So yeah, you would get an opportunity to work with people from all around the world who stay in different time zones but still come together to solve real world problems. So that's what Omdena is in a nutshell. So that's all I so that's what it is. Like, you can build some amazing projects which actually make an impact in the real world. Like, as I said, making a chatbot for Tanzania was important, and it is being deployed in Tanzania. So that is actually something that has been used by people all around the world, and you can definitely keep that in your resume and understand that if even one person has benefited from something that you have done good work. And Omlena helps you to help a lot of people with some problem, and it also teaches you. So yeah, it's something that's amazing and you should try it out. So that's all. That was really long. I briefed through it, but you would find a lot of things inside the uh, GitHub repo that I want you guys to figure out for yourself. There's a lot of courses mentioned, a lot of things that is there inside, and I want you guys to look into it yourself. And I believe that you would find things which are actually cool and you would have fun. So okay, where can we access this PDF? Okay, just a second. I would share this link right now. I would be quicker than everyone else. Okay, I guess there's a comment. This is my GitHub repo. Please just do one thing. Like, there's this option called start this repo, because that actually makes me feel appreciated for like creating something for you guys. So yeah, this is my GitHub repo. And by the way, just wanted to ask, like, is there any questions or anything that you would like to know now? Anything else? I would definitely like to take questions now. That's all I had for you guys.
So thank you, Akash, for helping students with this roadmap. I think we have one question from Somodeep.
Yeah, Somadeep, I guess if there's some session, you would be the one taking it. I would be there as well, but yeah, there would be sessions on maths in ML in the future, and I guess that's coming very soon. You would be there, I would be there too. So yeah, we have a lot of plan for you guys, and Somadeep would be there, and I would be there as well. So yeah, I guess that's. I guess you guys had fun. So write how you felt about this session, please. Like that would make me feel good if that's possible.
So basically, Somodev gave an update regarding the upcoming event which we are planning for the AI/ML session. And basically, if you will follow the series of ML101, you will get the maximum output, especially in the field of ML. We have sessions regarding Android development and all, and you will get these kind of power back session in each domain. So we request you to join us for our upcoming events as well. And uh,
Yeah, so I would
we
like to
have
take
one
a few
more
questions.
question.
There are questions. Yeah. So as a beginner, as the starting point, Monojit, I guess you should just look at the repo. I guess it's very comprehensive. If you look at the repository, I have shared the link right now. Can I pin it? I guess it could. No, I can't pin it. So there's this repository. I
So
would share it
basically,
in
I
the
have
Telegram group. You can share it in the Telegram
pinned it
link,
on
I
the
guess.
screen.
Yeah, okay, you have pinned it on the screen. Yeah, so you can like uh keep it on, like, as I said, like, you guys can check it out. And Deeptak, like, free resources by Andrew Ang are very good to start. Trust me, the best people who have done ML have said that they have got help from that course. So Andrew Ang's courses are amazing, trust me. And he's a professor of Stanford University, so he definitely knows his stuff, and he has worked in Google as well. So he has industry exposure, and he also is a professor of Stanford University. So he definitely knows what he's talking about, and he's very experienced. He's one of the best people in the field, and he teaches well by by also taking in the mathematics as well. So it's definitely great, and it's very good to start with. I believe that's the best thing to start with. So yeah, that's all from my side. Thank you, everyone. It was really fun, and thanks Divyanshu for like conducting this.
Thank you, Akash, for joining. And as I said, that we have one surprise waiting for you all. So that surprise is that we, the GDSC members, including you all, are the official community partner of Hack Odisha, which is an initiative by WebVidge, which is an organization of NIT Rourkela. So if you are willing to participate in this hackathon, the same applies for this, as Akash mentioned that for that particular scholarship, this is 8th is the last date to register, and it applies for the hackathon as well. So if you want to register for that, today is the last date. Visit their website. You can register. If you wish to get some support from our GDSC team, you can DM us. We will share the referral code by which we can also get a track of you all guys. And till then, get connected with us on our LinkedIn and our other socials so that we can keep you updated regarding our further events. And as Somadip mentioned, our next ML event will be on maths regarding ML. So thank you guys for joining us. We hope that you will join us in our further events as well. Thank you, Akash, for conducting this awesome session. And I have shared your GitHub repo on the screen. People can access it from there. Okay. Thank you all.
Thanks. So I guess that's